Donald Trump didn't just win elections. He changed what winning a presidency could look like. Donald Trump entered national politics as a celebrity businessman, not a conventional public servant. In 2015, he announced his presidential campaign from Trump Tower, using blunt language and promises that instantly divided audiences. He criticized immigration, trade deals, political insiders, and both major parties. But the surprise was not simply that Trump attracted attention. It was that attention became a political weapon, and millions of voters treated his outsider image as proof of authenticity. That approach carried him through the 2016 Republican primary and into the White House. The question was how far that formula could really go. That question became urgent when the formula collided with Washington's established rules. The first obstacle was the political system itself. Trump faced experienced Republican contenders, skeptical party leaders, and constant criticism from major news organizations. Normally, controversial statements create a ceiling for a candidate. For Trump, they often created another news cycle. Every clash kept his name visible, while traditional rivals struggled to control the conversation. Then came the general election, where he faced Hillary Clinton, a former Secretary of State with decades of political experience. Trump lost the popular vote, but won the Electoral College, exposing a deeper divide between national totals and state-by-state power. But that victory created a new test. Could disruption govern? The answer began with a new way of converting resistance into momentum. Trump's political strength came from turning conflict into participation. Supporters did not need every statement to be polished. They needed to feel their frustrations were being recognized. Social media amplified short phrases, rallies transformed politics into spectacle, and repeated attacks created a simple emotional map: insiders versus outsiders. This strategy also made criticism useful because outrage increased visibility and reinforced the sense that Trump was battling powerful opponents. The result was a movement built around direct identity, constant confrontation, and permanent attention. But the most important part of the strategy was still hidden in plain sight. The deeper shift was not one slogan or one election night. Trump blurred the boundary between candidate, media personality, and political movement. His public image became the platform, while every appearance doubled as campaign content. That helped explain why setbacks did not always weaken him. They could become evidence that opponents feared his supporters. After losing the 2020 election, Trump continued to dominate Republican politics, despite the events surrounding January 6th and multiple criminal indictments. In 2024, he returned to the presidency, becoming the first former president elected again after a non-consecutive term since Grover Cleveland. That is the real historical break. Understanding Trump's influence requires separating three forces that often get mixed together. First, his message connected with voters who felt ignored by institutions. Second, his communication style rewarded speed, repetition, and confrontation. Third, his movement converted personal loyalty into durable political organization. That combination can win attention quickly, but governing demands something different: coalitions, policy details, legal limits, and measurable results. The lesson applies beyond Trump himself. Modern political power increasingly depends on controlling the story before opponents define it. The candidate who owns the emotional frame often sets the terms of the debate, yet the most unexpected consequence would reach far beyond the campaign itself. Donald Trump's story is larger than a single candidate or party. It is a case study in how celebrity, grievance, media, and identity can combine into extraordinary political momentum. Supporters see disruption and representation. Critics see division and institutional pressure. Both reactions help explain his reach, because emotional politics rarely leaves audiences neutral. His legacy will be debated through elections, court cases, policies, and the standards future candidates adopt. But one conclusion is already clear: Trump changed the language of American power, and the political world changed around him. The next question is, who will inherit that playbook? Another part of Trump's story is the way he changed the relationship between celebrity and public office. Before politics, his name was already familiar through television, branding, and real estate, giving many viewers a sense of recognition before they studied his policies. That familiarity made political messages feel less like formal speeches and more like episodes in an ongoing public drama. Supporters saw this visibility as proof that he could command attention in a crowded media environment. Critics saw it as evidence that entertainment values were entering government. Either way, Trump showed that personal branding could become a political asset long before a candidate discusses legislation. Subscribe for the next video, where we'll examine which politicians are copying Trump's strategy and where that playbook starts.